welcome back. So we're gonna change things up a little bit. Here. And we're gonna spin it and we're gonna find my next book. I'm hoping with the GoPro, maybe I can do this like Pam Jenniff. I really did love I reread the first volume of Vinland Saga. I'm not gonna get much into it. But I still love it. But more details probably in another video, not necessarily this one. Because I want to do like more of a full review. But I still loved it. Still 5 out of 5. This is... I felt like I read something by this author, and I guess I didn't. Or I picked it up, read a few pages or whatever. So... The Last Girls of Paris is, there's like two different sides. So there's like the American side about this woman that joins up with this lawyer type guy, for the refugees of World War II, and, what they survived in Germany. There's like all over the place, different reasons why these refugees came to America and stuff like that. So there's that story, and then she finds a suitcase with pictures. And then you have the British side, where they're recruiting women of kind of like all different types of backgrounds that they think will be good as... I would like to call them like more of like British intelligence. I don't think they're like spies. They're more like British intelligence to tell like the British kind of like, okay, this is what Germany is planning on doing in Paris at this time. This is a way we can stop them. And kind of why, women would be really good for this role is because, all the men are kind of gone in Paris, so it's only women. So they don't stand out as much. They're taught, like, this is what French women are doing now because of, like, all the the money being gone and everything else. And this is how their cultures change, and this is how you can fit in. So it's been interesting. I think the only reason why I'm not DNFing this book is that it's interesting enough to where it's like I want to continue. But I wouldn't want to read anything else by this author because I hate to say it glamorizes this time period, but there's aspects of it like I feel like that are just in there to bring like a shock value attention to it, where I'm just like, I'm not into that as much as I used to be when I first picked up these books. Like, I used to be really into this time period and everything, but it's like, I think I just need to either, like, walk away from this time period for right now, maybe get, like, a different war. I have The Woman by, oh my goodness, I don't remember what her name is. The same lady that did Nightingale, that's set during Vietnam, which is a little bit, a little bit newer in our history, and I think it's a lot closer. I actually learned about it in school. I probably would have learned too much about World War II if I did not take European history, and the way I took European history was like in like advanced placement classes, so we really dug deep into this to where like most Americans, like, we really know about the Revolutionary War, Civil War, because I watch a lot of British YouTubers, like booktubers, that talk about, like, I'm so tired of like reading about like the monarchy and stuff like that because they're so absorbed into that. Like, that's so much part of their education. Where I feel the same thing about, like, the Revolutionary War and the Civil War. So, this is an interesting book because it shows kind of kind of somewhat of the regret that Americans were probably facing being so late to the war, especially World War II, and what was going on in Germany and stuff like that. And you really feel that with the American character. Like, she's like, well, what if we got there in time and stuff like that? What if we did not wait until Pearl Harbor and stuff like that? Where, and then you're seeing like what the Europeans were trying to do to survive. And it brings up that question of like, you know, were we too late and stuff like that? And it plays into that really, really well. I have to say the characters are really interesting and stuff like that. I just, one, I don't know if I could read these books without an audiobook. That's actually one of the reasons why I picked this particular book is yeah, I wanted an audiobook of this because it's just it's a lot easier to digest because you're just listening to the story. Um and it's plus it's like, you know, you have like all the accents and stuff, so it's like I like to, you know, especially when we're starting where I'm at right now cuz this is like a quarter review. I'm starting to get into Paris, so it's a lot easier to like, you know, listen to like what they have to say and stuff because you get the accent a lot better. Because I definitely don't know French at all, minus like a few words. But yeah, it's probably gonna be a three. I'm probably not gonna regret getting rid of the rest of them. I have the Winter's Guest and the Ambassador's Daughter, and I'm probably not gonna regret, you know, unhauling these books. Um, but yeah, I find it's a little bit different, but to me, still very, very samey when it comes to like what you're expecting from a book like this. Like you're expecting, you know, I mean, I guess you're not always expecting like women to become like British intelligence and you know, help the British Empire like take down Germany. I guess that's not something that you're expecting, but like a lot of the themes in this like are done in ways where other books have either done it or done it better. Like Nightingale, which is by same author that writes The Women. I cannot think of her name right now. Like she had like a similar thing of like women in France doing exactly what they're doing. Um and like how they were trying to survive and stuff. And it hit me harder. I don't know if I reread that book, if it would hit me as hard the second time reading it, just because it's like I'm kind of grown out of this time frame. And I've noticed that's what a lot of people have been saying about like historical fiction, that it's focused in this World War II time or World War One, and I'm like, there's some in other periods, but yeah, if you want like something like kind of on the newer end, like World War II is kind of, it feels like where it stops. I don't feel like we have a lot about Vietnam or even really 9/11. I wouldn't particularly be searching for that because that's to me is like a little bit too close. Like I remember that. Like when I'm reading historical fiction, like I like something a little further back. Um just for my mental sake, because it's like then like, you know, I feel like even like a pandemic like novel, it's like I can just put myself in the book and then like have a problem with, you know, reading it for my mental sake. But this is like I'm so far away from this where it's like I can separate myself from like kind of the horror, but understand the horror. If that makes any sense to anybody that's watching this little review. Um, yeah, I'm gonna probably try to finish this. It might even be a DNF if it just doesn't go anywhere. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, she just landed in Paris. One of the women that we were following that's British intelligence, and it's like, okay, like if it doesn't go anywhere, like I might just DNF it. Because I'm really excited about my third book I have, which is the car the second book to man, I cannot think of books today. Sorry guys, but that one is a little bit more up my speed. But I knew like I was gonna struggle a little bit with whatever book I picked from this author because they're not short. Like this book is 359 pages, and I'm only I think I'm on chapter like 8 or 9. So I'm just gonna go to chapter 10, and I'm only like I've only read like, oh, I got this from Second and Charles, guys, when they were good. But yeah, I've only read this much, and I'm not completely digging it. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like I would not be too heartbroken if I DNF this. I think I'm gonna read like I'm gonna listen to like maybe a chapter or two, see how the Paris stuff works. If I'm just not digging it, I will let you guys know, and I'll probably be starting my book that I really do want to read. But anyways, I'm gonna go do my hair. And I will be back with you guys shortly. Bye for now. No, cancel. With Vinland Saga. 5 out of 5 was a reread. Just to get me amped up for the rest of the series. And then we read The Lost Girls of Paris. This is a DNF. I feel like this is supposed to be some type of spy thriller. It wasn't thrilling. There were spies, but it wasn't thrilling. And then for the readathon I'm part of, I added this book in for this week, which is The Library of the Dead by T.L. Hugh. Weird book. I finished it about 2.5 to 3 stars. And then finally, guys, I have a 5-star. I feel like I don't know when the last time I had a 5-star. I think when I read the first book. No, it's been more recent. I think I've read a Red Rising book since then. Anyway, yeah, loved this book, loved this series. It is about Farah. She's a shield maiden, and she has special powers. Most of the first book is her just trying to get out of this marriage, and then the second book is kind of a continuation, and this is finishing off a series. Is a continuation of her journeys with Borjon. I think his name is Borjon. I might be pronouncing that wrong, okay? I had a lot of problems trying to pronounce the names in these books. Yeah, it was very good. I love their relationship. I loved how this duology ended. I don't know if there's going to be any more. I will pick them up. It is so pretty. Just with, I think more companies should do like just the edges like that. It's really super pretty. And then, I I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up very well, but it's there's like a tree. Yeah, it's not picking up very well, but yeah, it was a very good book. I don't want to go too much into spoiler territory. Just because it is a newer release, and to give people time to be able to pick it up. Plus, kind of with my new way of doing it, I think what I'm going to do is just kind of talk about these books, not in like mini reviews, not like what I would do like in like a short, but just change it up a little bit so we're just not spending too long. But yes, I do, it's a 5-star. Really like the relationship. So far, minus I would say like a Court of Thorns and ACOTAR. This has been like my second favorite romantasy series that I've really liked. I am gonna try Iron Flame eventually. It just won't be, I don't know when, but eventually I'll probably try Iron Flame and see if I can see what the girlies are talking about. To let you guys know, this does get very dark. So the last like 100 pages is really, really dark. And doesn't really fit the rest of the tone of the book, the first book. So just kind of be aware of that if you're going to go into this book. Like, to me, it's not like a typical romantasy. I would say, I guess it's more of a fantasy romance. Because the fantasy really, even though there is a big emphasis on the relationship, it's more about the political and the gods and her powers, and then it's just them in a relationship trying to keep the relationship going while they're going through all that. And I haven't read any of her other books, but what it sounds like to me, based off of other reviews I've heard about like the Bridge Kingdom and stuff, it sounds like she's more on like the fantasy romance of it all. So yeah, so I'm excited about that prospect. So what we're gonna do now is I am gonna spin the wheel. We're gonna see what books are gonna be in the next vlog, and then that way we can just start the vlog. We'll call these vlogs. They're more like sit-down vlogs, but we'll call them vlogs for right now. That will be the working title, and then I'll think of something that's a little bit closer to what we're doing here. But let me know if you guys like this style. And I'll keep on doing it. If not, we'll do something else. Alright, so we're gonna do the 3 spins and then go look for the book. So what's the first spin? Read a book box book. Okay. Okay. Read a 5-star prediction. Okay. And I'm just gonna do 3 spins, guys. And I'll pick any book. Okay. So, for the readathon, I'm a little bit behind. So, I think for the pick a book box book, I'm gonna look for kind of the most over-the-top cover that I can possibly find. And then I need to find something cozy. So and I'm thinking like maybe possibly another fantasy romance, maybe. And I'll just do that for any book and then do a 5-star prediction. Okay, let's do that. Let's take you off my TV tray and let's go take a walk. Doo-doo. Okay, guys. So we are at my bookshelves here. I want to be kind to myself, so I don't want to pick anything too big. I think for the book box book, I will pick Alone with You in the Ether. I'm going to pick Alone with You in the Ether. And then for my cozy, which is my any book. I should pick something from like right here because this is my I should put a timer on this stuff. I could also do 5-star prediction as well. Let's just have Olivia Blake. And I'll pick the Atlas Complex for my 5-star prediction. Pick a to me these are kind of simple covers. And then cozy. I mean, I'm gonna pick Scythe. I know this is a weird pick, but I think just having like a YA book is kind of cozy just because it's, you know, not as complicated as what I read. So I've heard really good things. So let's go back to the table and we can discuss. All right, we are back. We are sitting down, and what do we have? Okay. Obviously, coughing spell. Okay. So for an any book or cozy fantasy for the readathon I'm participating in, which is Amazing Readathon, we are gonna pick Scythe. And then for overdone cover slash 5-star prediction, I picked Atlas Complex, and this will also finish another series, so that's going to be exciting. And then I picked for book box book Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. So seems like it's going to be Olivia Blake week. I have 2 books from her and Neil Sucherman for Scythe. Yeah, I just think it should be a fun 3 selection. I would like this to kind of replace what my Sunday videos were. With how busy my schedule is, it just really depends on when I finish the books. So I'm hoping I might have to change up my schedule a little bit. Maybe not have 2 videos, maybe just have 1, maybe occasionally 2 videos. It just kind of really depends on my schedule, but I think this is going to be a lot more interactive way of doing book reviews. You guys can at least see me pick the books, and everything. And we'll just have to see how it goes. But I think reviewing 3 books at once instead of 1, there's a little bit of something for everybody. If you like in this stack, if you we have a dystopian, we have a contemporary fiction, we have a dark academia. So being able to see all that, and I just hope it gives you guys a little bit more of an exciting feel, and yeah. Like and subscribe. Yeah, please let me know if this is something that's interesting. Because obviously it is going to take me more time than if I did individual book reviews per video. Having 3 in 1 video is obviously going to have to change my schedule and what gets posted. I'm not super sad either way if the Thursday videos are on occasion and we just go to Sundays. If people like this and everything, and I think it's going to be more fun for me too, because it's not like I'm just reviewing 1 book and having to fill up time, where this is a lot more I read Scythe and then I give you a mini review, and then I read Alone with You and Neither and give you a little mini review. And this way I can, if I have a readathon like I do this month, I can cater that to the readathon. So yeah, just let me know how you guys feel about all this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!